So we are here at the Rétromobile Classic Car Show in Paris. Different to what most of the shows are like in America, the European classic car shows are almost always indoor. The three biggest ones are the Tecnoclassica in Essen, the Automotor d'Epoca in Bologna, and then this one here, which is the Rétromobile in Paris. The big benefit of this show is it's right in the middle of Paris, right at the heart of the city. So there's so many other things you can do in addition to looking at this show. The show here has about 800,000 square feet in 3 halls, 550 displays and over 1,000 cars. Over the next 5 days, they're expecting about 130,000 people to visit. We've been told there's plenty of Porsches as well, and a little bird told me that there should be a yellow bird somewhere. So why don't we have a look?
Be sure to log into your YouTube account, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video.
And here it is. That is the Roof CTR, or Yellowbird. This car was made infamous by its Nürburgring race, where it was drifting at speeds way over 200 miles an hour. This car has a 3.4 litre flat 6 rear engine with a turbo with 463 horsepower and 408 newton meters of torque. Top speed on this car at the time in the late 80s was 213 miles an hour. The little one fun thing that they incorporated in this car, it's on the other side of the car, is that they incorporated an oil filler lid that was only once done on the 1972 model year. 29 were ever built. All other ones that weren't built at the factory in Pfaffenhausen have been done or based on customer cars. The difficulty with this car, though, at its time in the late 80s, with all the power, was that it only had 2-wheel drive. So if Le Mans is something you're interested in, the show will have everything for you, from this 1925 Chenard A Walker tank to the Porsche 919 hybrid. So talk about finding the Holy Grail in unusual places. The Porsche 911R was produced in only 20 copies, and this one here says it's the only unrestored one to have survived. Lots of individual items on this car. You could spend hours going over it. Simply fascinating. Sold by a company called Rock and Roll. And it's not only just classic cars or classic car dealers that you find at the show. As you can see behind me, Porsche Stuttgart has their own display here at Retromobile. That kind of shows you also how important the show is for them. What you see here in between these two, this is their celebration of 50 years of Porsche Turbo. This here is a 1974 model. That's when everything started 50 years ago. And that is why they are here at Retromobile, to show their cars, but also a lot of other things that they have in the back. Everything that's to do with Porsche Classic, parts, bits, and something else I'm going to show you in a minute. And as I said earlier, it's not all just about classic cars. Porsche has its presence here at the Retromobile stand, also to show off the new model, the Panamera Turbo Hybrid. So they're kind of gapping the original, the launch of the Turbo 50 years ago, and then they're doing a small one, because you never know. Not a Porsche, I hear you say, and you're right, even though it's yellow. But I wanted to show you this because at European car shows, this is a trend that happens more and more now, that they take classic cars and take the gas engines out and replace them with electric drives. No Porsche on this show, but it's bound to happen one day. I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, it's sacrilege missing the core bit of the car. But who knows what it's going to bring. And as I said, there's so many things here to see, from art to bits and parts that you need, including car models. And as you can see here, there's even a whole wall of models of all the Porsche race cars you can think of. It is in fact a Dorado for Porsche lovers as well. There are all sorts of accessories and models, as you can see here. You can buy some beautiful ones in the range of 160 to 200 euros, and there is literally nothing you can think of that Rétromobile does not have. But then if you cannot afford the real thing, you can get the model here at a paltry 4,000 euros. Obviously, a lot of things have a very French tinge to them, but not all books and magazines are in French. You can buy and get a lot of English language material as well that you want to bring home with you. Now this French stand has a remarkably made backdate targa on it with even a glass roof. And despite the price tag of 285,000 on this one, it's marked sold. And although Rétromobile is a French show with a distinctly Mediterranean flair, there's all sorts of Porsche content we can find here at the show. Right now, I'm next to a 1981 924 GTS Club Sport, which I'm sure you'll recognize. It is part of the RM Sotheby's auction here at the Rétromobile. There's 3 auctions in association with the show. One is called Art Curiel, which is the French auction house. The other one's Goodings. And then we have RM here. We're at the stand right now, and their auction is over right underneath the Louvre. So why don't we have a go and have a look at it? Now look at this fascinating 962. For sale at RM Sotheby's auction here in Paris. The last chassis number ever built, restored in 1994, estimate 1.5 million euros.
The 962C of our auction is an incredible car. First, because the car raced at the period. It raced Le Mans in 1991 and finished 10th at the overall ranking, which is a beautiful car. Raced in the period. Now the car is in very good condition, restored in 94, ready to be driven one at a time for the next several months. This is the last chassis built for the mythic 962. That's why this car with this particular fat turbo delivery is really an amazing car. It's estimated between 1.2 and 1.5 million euros. We hope to have a lot of bids on the car.
I know you wouldn't think it, but this is the only 928 ever built by Kundenwunsch in Flachbau configuration, with pop-up headlights in the style of the 944 and with the wide body configuration. So one of the finds here at RM Sotheby's auction is this 3.6 litre turbo of the last model of the G model, in turbo of which only 1,500 were made, and only 3 of them ever had this color here, which is oak green metallic. Now we're looking here, obviously, at a 356 Carrera Speedster, the 1500 GS with a 4-cam Königswellen motor. What a fabulous car. Now look at that. And just to show you how different car shows can be, this here behind me is the stand of LVA. Those are the publishers that I work for, and this is the magazine Retromobile. And right on the other side is Maison Trintignant, a wine tasting stand. How French.